So I'm Amy Golding, I'm Artistic Director of Curious Monkey. We're a theatre company based in Newcastle upon Tyne, and we make plays with people from all sorts of different communities from the northeast and also across the world. And we make new plays with a team of professional artists, but we work alongside those people from those communities to make sure that their voices, opinions, thoughts are at the heart of the work that we make. Our latest project, Arriving, is a show where we're going to be telling the story of two young women who have come to Newcastle to seek sanctuary. So they've come from different parts of the world and they've found themselves living in Byker in Newcastle. I was really interested in telling a story of a city that is really changing in terms of demographic. So that was something that I really wanted to do with this project, was to find out more about the experiences of young people who are seeking sanctuary in this city, particularly in areas that are really changing, like a city where the demographic is so different now from what it was when I moved here 20 years ago. And I think much more diverse than some people would even realise, actually. Another inspiration for the play was a book that I read, The Other Side of Truth by Beverly Naidu, who's a children's author and activist who I'm really interested in and who we're talking a lot about in the process of making the show, as somebody who tells young refugee stories and whose work and writing and art is a form of activism in itself. So I was really inspired by her as well.
My name's Debbie Beeks. I'm a drama worker and a researcher for Curious Monkey on this project. I've been involved in this project as a drama worker and a practitioner. I bring to the project some co-research where we've been working with children from the local primary school. And we've been looking and researching an author called Beverly Naidu. For two reasons. One, because she has written a book called The Other Side of Truth, which is about two young children who find themselves in London from Nigeria alone, and they're arriving in the city and struggling to find sanctuary and safety. The other reason is because Beverly Naidu's archive is part of a children's literature archive here in Newcastle with 7 stories. And that archive and the author and the book have been a really fascinating way to look at the notion of arriving, of global communities moving around the world, seeking sanctuary and finding homes and new homes and friendships.
My name is Arieta Visoka. I'm 23 years old and I study at the Royal Birmingham Conservatoire in Birmingham. So Paulina she's going to be around 15. And she came to the UK as a refugee, but we don't know exactly where she's from at the moment. She's just a normal kid that's just trying to get on with life kind of thing, that's had sort of traumatic experiences. How does she kind of integrate into her society? Because she's sort of like a girl that's turning into a young woman, so it's that awkward age of like of growing up, really.
Let's create an image of forest. Yeah.
When we make a show with Curious Monkey, we don't just commission a writer, write a play, put it on. We have a really long process of creating and collaborating with lots of different people from different communities. And we've been meeting people from lots of different communities in partnership with different charities across the city. So the Comfrey Project in Gateshead, West End Refugee Service, the Gateshead Syrian Resettlement Programme. And we've been building trust, building relationships, making friendships, hanging out in places, running workshops. And now we have a kind of programme of work that happens where we go to the theatre together once a month, which is it's kind of a social occasion, really. We go to eat food together, to watch theatre, to talk about shows, to widen all of our understandings about the different styles of theatre that's out there and get people talking about it. And to offer an opportunity to go to the theatre to those that might not be able to afford a ticket or might not think theatre is for them or might not have seen much theatre since they've arrived in the city.
I'm Victoria. I heard about this project from Helen from the West End Refugee Service. I liked when we tried to make up the character for future drama and to say what we think about some character to make it alive, to make the small details about, to invent the small details about some character.
My name is Jafar Zayd. I am an asylum seeker here. I'm Kurdish, basically from Iran, and I've been here for 10 years and still waiting for for my case to be resolved. I saw a flyer at home, that flyer regarding the curious monkey, and I took the number and called and talked with Amy, and since then we have started that working shops regarding the theatre, which has been very enjoyable, especially for people like me who hasn't got anything to do.
The engagement with that project makes my life more interesting, less empty.
We also run workshops every fortnight, and they're very much geared to informing the content of the play. So with our writer Lindsay and with the team that we're working with, Abu and Joanna as our associate artists, to get people's thoughts, stories, opinions about what we want to say, why we want to make this play and what we want to say with it, so that they're included at every step of the process.
My name is Abdurrahman Abu Zayd Al-Digel. My involvement with this project as an associate artist and a community engagement officer. So I work with the communities, run workshops, and encourage people to come to our workshops and to take them to theatre trips, and also part of the creative team. And for me, it's kind of learning curve as well, because I kind of multitasking. I'm not good with that, for multitasking, and I'm learning a lot of things because I was doing like 3-4 rules. But the important thing is like what Curious Monkey brought to me. It's kind of like the essence of the family. Even like for this R&D, like we come together, we eat together, we drink together. For me, always I prefer like to work in this way. And if I'm comfortable around an area, so I'm sure I will be more creative and I will do well.
My name is Lindsay Rodden, and I am a writer. I'm a writer working on the Arriving project with Curious Monkey. So I joined Curious Monkey in, was it January, I think, and started coming to the workshops at Visoka Primary School, which is just the building next door to the one we're in right now.
The process of working with children as co-researchers has been really interesting, weaving together reading and drama and research and questioning and being critical. It's been a really exciting part of creating a community where we share stories together that can become part of our story, our new story, new narratives.
I liked being an actor because you just express your feelings and you're somebody else.
I made this story about the wolf, his parents having a big argument, and he was only 4, and then he knew something was going to happen, so then he just went outside into the distance, and then he didn't know who he was, and then he just fell asleep. In the night when he was sleeping, a pack of wolves came, and then they just carried him to their den, and then they taught him how to be like a wolf, and then he just became like the king or something.
My favourite part of the project was today when we seen all the parts and we did our wash.
When we were advisors to the writer, it was good because then when we wrote like our ideas down, then like the writer gets our ideas and then like puts it in a play.
And we did one in the gym where we pretended to be an aeroplane and then someone going into the out of the aeroplane.
This is a story about Newcastle.
It's this city and not this city. This is the story of the city underneath.
So we're also going to be spending some time down in Derby, working with different people from the communities in Derby and also the theatre down there to do further development of the show throughout the year.
So my name is Alena Tavlashova. I work for Derby City Council for New Communities Achievement Team. We were approached by Derby Theatre to involve our students, asylum seekers, in a project with Curious Monkeys. That's a theatre company from Newcastle. We've been involved in a project, in workshops. We visited Derby Theatre a couple of times, and young people really enjoyed it. They were very positive and happy. They took part in all activities, and I think they had a really good time.
Paulina! Paulina! Quero voltar, quero voltar!
So for me personally, this project brought me memories to my teenager age when I was involved in theatre. I used to play in the theatre company.
So now we are in R&D, which is research and development, 2 weeks. So we're here in Raby Street rehearsal space, which is Northern Stage's rehearsal space, in the heart of Byker. So it's great to be in the middle of the community in which our play is set while we're working on the show. We've got a creative team here, so we've got our associate artists, Abu and Joanna, we've got Lindsay, our writer, we've got Laura, our dramaturg, and we've got a selection of different actors who we've been working with. And also throughout the time that we're here, we're bringing in our community group to come and work with us as well and show them what we've been up to.
My name is Joanna Geronimo. I'm an actress. My work with Curious Monkey is associate artist. The past 2 weeks we have been doing R&D, which is something new for me. It's the first time I'm doing it, and I find it really interesting because I'm an actress, so I always get the script in my hand, or you see a play right there on stage, but taking part in R&D gave me a chance to learn a lot and see how things work from the background. It has been a really good experience.
Bringing your own experiences and putting that to other people as well, and sort of them getting ideas from it, and then you getting ideas from other people. It's really amazing because you put everything together and it all sort of turns into one big story, and I'm so excited just to see in general how the play develops.
And we've spent almost 2 weeks exploring lots of different possibilities with characters and thinking about where this play is going to be set, and thinking about who's going to be in the story, and doing lots of playful stuff, lots of improvisation to try and unearth those possibilities.
This R&D is very, very special. We've been creating community within this R&D and exploring what pulls us towards one another, what binds us to one another, the challenges with living amongst one another, all of us, and for our characters, where their journey might take them, specifically in Byker.
And this is where the play is going to be set as well. So I feel like we're right in the middle of the world of the play, physically, and I suppose this R&D, research and development process, is about exploring that world, literally exploring that world. So this morning we put on our coats, went out into the spring sunshine, tried not to look like tourists. Some of us know here really well. Some of us have lived here, and some of us, particularly some of the actors, are here for the first time. I'm somewhere in the middle of that in terms of my experience. But today we've been physically exploring here as a location. But I feel like the work that we do here in the room is the imaginative exploration of that.
The R&D has been so rich in terms of the conversation that we've been having lots of different people from lots of different backgrounds, bringing all sorts of different things with them into the space has just been absolutely amazing, and I feel very privileged to be in a room with this group of people. And I think it will help to make this play as authentic as we can possibly make it, which is the mission that we're on.
Thank you for watching our documentary. This last message is recorded in my backyard during lockdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The play was ready here, it was ready to go, we'd fundraised, we'd cast the actors, the set design was finished and built, the props were made, the costumes were ironed, the lighting design was ready, and then lockdown. We were due to open on the 19th of March at Northern Stage, and our arriving group had prepared a curtain raiser performance that they were going to perform to, but everything had to stop. Our set and our props and everything are still sitting in the dark theatre at Northern Stage, waiting for a time when the theatres can reopen again. During lockdown, obviously we've not been able to see each other, and I was a bit concerned about this, not being able to connect and be with each other. So quite quickly we decided that we would move some of our activity online and use Zoom. So we've been meeting twice a week, every week. We've been meeting on a Monday for a creative workshop. We've been doing all sorts of things as well as theatre. We've been doing salsa dancing and yoga and photography and art and writing. And then we meet on a Friday, which is a more kind of relaxed session where we have chats and catch-ups. We've also been eating together still, so we've been delivering ingredients for different meals so that we could all cook together at the same time in our kitchens and then share a meal. And Curious Monkey have made sure that everybody has data, Wi-Fi, webcams, anything that they've needed to be able to stay connected during this time. But we hope that we will be able to share our story with you in a theatre at some point in the future. We've shared a reading, an online version as part of Migration Matters Festival for Refugee Week, and we may share another version of that as well, as there was a lot of demand, so do watch this space. But what's really helped us is knowing that this play was just a small part of a much bigger project. It was a stopping place. And the play is, after all, about stories. It's about the solace that you find in stories, the power of stories, and also the violence and the injustice that of having your story taken from you or not believed. But mostly this project is about building platforms so that members of our arriving group can tell their own stories, whether they be imagined or whether they be true. And that gives us a lot of hope for the future. So thank you so much for watching, and we hope to be sharing things with you and seeing you in theatres in the real world at some point soon in the future. Thank you.